Yeah, the early years, first couple of years of Upward, the numbers were really small. I think we had 35 kids to start out the first year, and that was with recruiting some so that we had enough even to make teams to be able to play games. So then the second year came around, and we had this big advertising push with the parade, and we thought we would get a lot of response immediately from that with some early registrations. But the registrations weren't coming in, and we thought, oh, it's all that work, and it's still not going to take off. So we were getting ready for our evaluation and orientation night, and I thought, I'm not even going to spend all the time getting ready for this. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of people in place and go to all this effort because nobody's going to show up anyway. And so it gets to be that evening, and it's about 30 minutes before it's supposed to start, and a few people show up. And I think, uh-oh. And so we're still setting up, and we tell them, okay, just kind of hang tight for a little bit. We'll be ready in a little bit. And then more people start coming up. And about 10 minutes before we're even supposed to start, there is a line out the door of people waiting to register. And so now I'm getting really nervous. And so I run into the kitchen, and I get on the phone, and I start calling people. Started with Roy and Shannon Contreras. I said, what are you guys doing? Get down here, I need you now. And just anybody I could think of who could come down and help get these people registered. And that year, the numbers doubled from the first year. And then the year after that, they doubled again. And it was really exciting just to see what God was starting to do in the community through this program.
Okay, well, when I first started in Upward, I was probably 4th grade maybe. I was only 8 years old, and I got involved with the church and just got involved with the program overall of Upwards, and it's to have a good time and play basketball with a Christian surrounding and atmosphere around you. Upwards has really changed me because I've met some of my best friends, which I still know today, in Upwards. That's where we really first met, when playing basketball, just having a great time. And I remember I did halftime. I always wanted to do the halftime show, the little halftime devotion kind of thing. And so I wrote not too long speech, maybe 2 to 3 minutes speech on how I got involved with the church and what the church has done to change me. And it really wound up changing my life. It really showed me, that's where it first started, where God told me that I want you in ministry, I want you to go in this field, and I want you to become some sort of pastor and speak my word. And I didn't know it at the time exactly, but that was the first devotion speech that I actually gave. And when I just think of Upwards, I kept on doing it after it was over because I always wanted to be like my dad. I always wanted to be that coach who, can have fun, teach correctly, and just pursue the Christian coach, good guy attitude. So I took up Upwards as a coach. I first helped coaching with my dad, and then after that I kind of just slowly migrated into my own kind of coaching field, and it's just been great, helping all these little kids. And the best part about Upwards is, seeing them come in uneducated about Christ that much, and the point where they can't even dribble a basketball. And then you look at the end of the year, and they're making shots that they couldn't have made at the beginning of the year. They're dribbling the ball down, and it makes it all worth it in the end. And to see how much they've grown spiritually and physically with Upwards just makes it a great time. And that makes it really why I love Upwards and why I keep doing it.
I got involved kind of in an interesting way. I ran into Steve and Janine at Bi-Mart one day, and they were searching for basketball hoops. And so we got into a little conversation. I was asking them about, what they were doing and why they were doing it. And anyway, Steve explained to me he needed 4 basketball hoops to put in the gym because of Upward basketball. He asked me. But anyways, I spent an afternoon with him putting together the 4 basketball hoops. And it was I learned a little bit more just talking to them what it was about. And we got them put together, had a few extra nuts and bolts laying around. As it's been 10 years, it's amazing that they're still together. But you know, I first started coaching because I wanted to coach my kids. You know, I first couple of years, Megan had other coaches, and they did great. But I wanted to be her coach, and she asked me to be her coach. So it was all about me coaching my daughter. But a few years ago, I had a couple of teams. I was coaching actually both girls, both Caitlin and Megan, and I was having a rough year. I had some myself. I think it was my own self, and I had a tough team. I had a few kids. How do I say it? Well, they had an attention span of maybe 2 seconds. I think we've all had those, and I remember talking to Steve about it, and I was frustrated, and I was being selfish. I was there to coach my girls. I wasn't there to deal with other things. But as time went on that year, I know Steve was praying for me. I was praying about it. It just turned around. God just gave me a heart for those kids, and you know, for those of you who don't know, each week we spend about 10 minutes going through devotions, learning memory verses, and then talking about what that verse means in life. And then every year, the very last devotion that we do at practice time is John 3:16, and we talk through what that means. And it wasn't me speaking, but God speaking through me, because I don't remember what I said exactly that evening. I just asked that as we prayed there, that any kid that wanted to know more about Jesus, that they would raise their hand. And I had 4 of them between the two teams do that, and 2 of them were the kids that I'd had some struggle with, and one of them was Caitlin, which was amazing and exciting, of course, to me. Anyways, a couple of months after Upward had ended that year, and the dad of one of the boys that I had came up to me and said, he goes, you know, he's got us reading that Bible every night. And I looked at him and I said, well, that's great. And I still don't know today if he was happy with me or not, but he was having them read that Bible each and every night, which I thought was pretty cool. Okay, so why would I continue to be involved with Upward? There's a lot of reasons. You know, I love the game of basketball. That's a big part of it. And just being able to be there to help influence some of those kids' lives. It's become obviously to me more important over the years from the beginning. There's a lot of reasons, but I want to read. This is a big one for me. This is one of my kids this year. Just gave me a little thank you card, and I'll read you that, and we can end with that. It says, "Dear Mark, thank you for being an awesome basketball coach and teacher about Jesus. I learned a lot about Jesus and how to use teamwork. I would love it if you were my coach next year." I thought that was pretty cool. That's kind of does it for me.